right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cappuccino Cunnilingus, episode number 30, here live at Holiday Matsuri 2016. Just to start off the show real quick, this is going to be our New Year's Eve podcast. Just counting down, probably once we get close to midnight here, we're just going to give a big Happy New Year and go about and try to start off the new year fresh. But before we get to that, I had just come across a Tumblr post when I was watching another panel, and I wanted to flesh it out a little bit because it has a lot of merit to it, and I want to see what can actually come of it. And the actual basis for it is that in a fantasy world akin to Lord of the Rings, your characters would actually have modern day accents. The main suggestions that they give would be dwarves would have a Minnesotan accent, and your elves would be from Brooklyn. So I wanted to flesh it out a little bit. And I wanted to actually write down an actual movie for this. What comes to mind is there's one of those princess movies where she ends up coming through the manhole and winds up in New York. But I feel Enchanted, yeah. And what I want to do is do something more along the lines of The Devil is a Part-Timer, where it's the elves opening up a portal to defeat whoever the hell it is, and they end up in modern day America, but scattered across the globe and stuff like that. So I wanted to just try to flesh it out as much as possible. What races and what places would be for certain people in certain places is what I want to try to find out. Obviously, the dwarves have to be from Minnesota because essentially the only thing that's up there is coal mines. And then the reasoning they give behind the elves being from Brooklyn is just a very, very strong, heavy accent that you can only get from one place and being from one region. So just elves always having to be from one place kind of flows with that. So I want to know where should your orcs or your halflings and stuff like that. What characters should go into it. So if you guys have anything, I really want to try to find this. I want to figure this one out. Because the main thing is I want to write it like Lord of the Rings. I want it to be not an adventure story, but I want these characters to come together and have, in a sense, more conversation than anything else, as opposed to actual effects and having to do anything like that. It would be more conversation between them. Orcs in LA have Valley Girl orcs. Oh my god. You would not believe what that pointy-eared freak did today.
Yeah, damn, you just made it more believable. Yeah, orcs in LA. I would go orcs Los Angeles.
I'll take that.
No, they still look big and broody though, but they talk like that. What you just talked like.
You said orcs in Texas?
Halflings of Texas.
Halflings of Texas. All right. Let me try to think. So would they be into instead of kind of like hobbits, but like instead of like horseback or bull riding, it would be like just little like donkeys and stuff like that. And they'd just be like donkey ranchers and some shit.
Yeah.
All right. And then like what can we do? What should be the story? Like what should be the end goal? Like I want to like this is all entirely I've only thought about all right, where would I want to see it? I want to know like what other people would think. So like where should the story go? Like what inspires them to meet up, and what inspires them to like actually like form a team and try to
convention in Oklahoma.
A convention
in Oklahoma, like a meetup, like a special beast kind of like a Fantastic Beast kind of meetup in Oklahoma. It's a random like convention.
Okay. All right.
Convention in Oklahoma.
All right. I'll take this. Let's do a time skip. Let's say 10 years. It's this fellowship of characters from all different races. They're fighting, some wraith or whatever, like at a castle, and they open a portal to another dimension to vanquish it and send it away for good. But they end up following it through the portal and have to adapt to this new world that they're in. The new world being our dimension. So what they do is they eventually find solace in going to Comic-Cons, and they can just be themselves, and everybody be like, "Oh my God, I love your cosplay. What are you?" And then they give like their real names, and like they actually try to like be themselves, and people are like, "Oh my God, that's so cool. Is that like your D&D character?" and stuff like that. And they're just like, "D&D, what's that?" And they're like, "You don't know Dungeons and Dragons?" And like they fall down this rabbit hole.
Where?
Dragon fight where? How will I vanquish this beast? So it's like, I feel like that would be that I like that idea where they go to cons to meet up, and like they have their little meetups and groups, and it's just like, hey, come to this thing. All the elves are gonna be here.
They have a panel there, and it's like all the real ones, and then one obvious.
It's one guy. It's always one guy who has like this makeshift like bow and arrow satchel in the back, and like he's carrying it. And then it's also like this one girl who tries to like thinks that she's a mage, but when she goes to like the healers panel, and like they talk about like what potions to do, and she actually figures out one. She thinks she's a real mage, even though it's just like, no, you just did something that somebody else did, and it kind of worked. Like, I feel like that would be a good addition.
In the story, you have your human dynamic. Those two people now having to like go, wait, these guys are real?
Yeah. It's a story of these people. This is their world that they created in our world, but we kind of hijacked it a little bit by like coming together for everything. So other than like the meeting places and stuff like that, like where should the conflict be? Like what should the heroes continue to fight the monster that they came through with, or should it be?
Yeah, if it takes 10 years later, like the dimensional portal opens again, and something not so nice comes out during one of these conventions.
Okay, so
they have to try to stop it.
They have to try to stop it.
And it's up to the real monsters, pretty much real mythical creatures, to stop this beast and finally have a chance of possibly return home.
Okay, so they come through a portal. 10 years later, they have the cons and everything. A portal opens up at the con, and it's let's take for a second like it's a death knight from like World of Warcraft. Somebody dressed up.
Yeah.
And then you have everybody like running up to it and just be like, "Oh my God, your cosplay is amazing! you're so evil. I love it," and like stuff like that. It's
is
like,
that green screen?
It's like they actually have like little Hellion demons following them around. It's like, oh my god, that's so cool. There's animatronics. But like that happens, and then following that, they do the scene where he stomps his sword into the ground, and rips open a portal to hell, and demons come up and start like attacking the con. And like everybody freaks out because they finally realize like what's actually going on. Except for the two unwitting humans.
Yeah.
They think that they are going to save the fucking world. That's what they think. And I feel like they actually should. I feel like they go like Sword Art Online style when Kirito and Asuna like take down the first boss. They try to do something like that, and somehow it magically works for them. Even
and it oh no wait no that's just like the movie. I'm thinking movie.
Yeah.
Like cameo actual like fantasy actors movie.
Oh yeah.
Movies. Like Brandon we have just like I know he would be up for it. Elijah Wood.
Oh my god, Elijah Wood would be the con would be a con
Sean
guest.
Astin, or like
yes.
Viggo Mortensen.
Elijah Wood and Viggo Mortensen. Viggo Mortensen's been out of work. He would take that up. I feel like that would be a good thing. Oh no, speak up. What do you got?
So where's your coffee machine?
In lieu of coffee, because I didn't want to have to lug my coffee machine through a parking garage and down an escalator.
I clearly remember when you were at Polycon.
You're from Polycon. Oh my god, yes.
Coffee machine, right?
We did. We've only been doing that for like home shows and like nearby stuff, because it was a pain in the ass to do stuff like that. But oh my god, thank you for coming back. We didn't bore you. Like that was also my co-host. He couldn't be here this weekend, so it's just me. But I'm doing my best, like trying to make up for that. But like, thank you. Like, you don't know how happy it makes me that somebody from like a past con is just
we're running it this year, like last year. We
Oh.
saw your name on it for Holiday Matsuri, so we decided to stop by.
Oh, cool! Thank you. Yeah, I wanna stop by again and do another panel and try to like. What I plan to do is in spring and summer. Sorry, I'll get back. We'll get back to the story. We'll get back to it. We're not done with this, but for next year, for like winter and spring, I want to try to do more Central Florida stuff, and then during the summer and like into the fall a little bit, I want to extend more out. Like I'm trying to talk to some friends in Texas to put me up for a weekend and do stuff there. What's up?
RTX.
Dude, I looked at the prices for RTX. I wouldn't be able to afford that for the next 10 years. Yeah, if I had the money, I would be able to afford one 60-second reel for them to run during one panel. Like if I had saved up money from now till June, like just before they start to go, that's what I'd be able to afford. Yeah, but they have so much going for them. Like I would love to work with the people at Rooster Teeth on something, like not in a sense where it's just like I want to be in charge of it, but like I want to come in and just work with it. Like I want to come in, I want to be an assistant, I want to know how they do their productions, because what I eventually would like to do is like coming next year, I do have my gaming PC getting put together. I have my PlayStation 4. Maybe by the end of January, at the latest, the first week of March, I'm going to start adding gaming content to the YouTube channel for the podcast. Like I'm going to have my friends, I'm going to have guests on to be able to do these things, just so that way I have daily content going out there other than one podcast a week or one podcast every 10 days or something like that. So like what my goal would be is to eventually do, work like that and then try to bring people into my work, like try to bring them back to me. But yeah, went completely off topic there. That was great.
That's fine.
So with the story, we left off
with cameos from
by famous people. Yes. I would also want Shit, what's his name from God damn it. Neville Longbottom.
I know the actor. I know
Yeah, I would want him to make an appearance because like in this fantasy world that they're from, they get like news from other dimensions, and they got news from the Harry Potter dimension that this kid was the hero that saved the world.
Oh yeah.
So like they're like always trying to get him to come to these cons. And like his doppelganger in this world is this guy.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh my god, this famous guy. We want him to come to our thing.
And then the human characters are trying to tell him, no, he's just an actor.
Yeah, it's all fake. You guys can't. No, this isn't real. But like, no, we saw it on the news. It's definitely real.
You saw it on Entertainment Tonight. It's not technically news.
Oh my god. And then I feel like it's obviously like a B movie. It's not like a Hollywood blockbuster. But yeah, what I would
So it'll become a huge meme.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, but it finds a cult following. It plays and people like come up with their own little commentary for it.
Cops, you can have it to where they the evil bad guys trap everybody inside the convention center. Pretty much. They lock down the convention center so some kind of big spell or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
it can be kind of like a Die Hard situation where it's like one cop comes by on occasion, the mall cop. You know, like a mall cop or security guy in the convention
Some Paul Blart cosplayer.
Security guy comes by, checks in, sees nothing, just drives. She's driving. He's like, man, them kids in stupid pants.
Yeah. But then I want the ultimate payoff, like other than like every little Easter egg that you would ever get from like a fantasy movie is obviously going to be in it. Like every little nitpicky thing that you want in that, it's going to be there. But the ultimate payoff should be either the heroes win and the villain is defeated for good, or the heroes win that battle, and then it sets up for the villain to come back even better, even stronger.
Well, the thing is, you've already set up to where, Dave, you've already said there's other dimensions. So
Oh, yeah.
you already sprinkled that in, so you don't necessarily have to be a cliffhanger. You've already sprinkled in.
It can always lead up to another dimension opening up. Okay.
Yeah.
You could also-
I mean, or if you still want to do a cliffhanger, end it to where a different portal opens and something
Okay.
completely different comes out of it. Like not even like it can leave it fantasy, but something completely unexpected. Like Orlando Bloom dressed as Legolas, and he's the legit Legolas, you know?
I thought you were gonna go with Will Turner
Oh,
at
or
first,
that works too.
and then he said Legolas, and I was like, all right, I'll take that too.
Yeah, or that works too. Or like the world of Ash vs. Evil Dead, where he comes out. Bruce Campbell comes out of the king of B movies. Obviously, comes out of the portal.
Bruce Campbell, yes.
Comes out dressed as
All
Ash,
day.
holding the Necronomicon. And,
Yeah.
You could have like a teaser if like you really want to make it like sequels or whatever. You could have like an end-credit scene.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Like you think like they'd be in everyone, and only the people who stay around will be able to know it's not over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, for the human characters, obviously, the girl thinks like she's a mage, and the guy is like a bowman. Is he like a hunter? Does he think he's one of the elves? Is he like where should he go with that? Is he like somebody like Hawkeye, where like he's actually trained in archery, or is it like just some guy that just happens to have like Nerf bows?
No, I think it would be cool to have him still being like a full-on like geek and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like,
Maybe he actually has like a little bit
But-
of experience.
yeah, no, and that's the thing. But you know, because of his love for his character, he took up archery for the last like 5 or 10 years. pretty
Okay.
much, and has become really good at it. I mean, not like Hawkeye levels of good, but you know, really like an expert at it.
He can shoot a target from 20 meters.
Yeah, you know, exactly. You know, he's still geeky, he's still still can't really talk to other people sometimes. He only really gets really close.
He's a little bit of a wallflower in like public places, but when he comes to cons, he flourishes.
Yeah, exactly.
I would find it like really funny if he's a geek, and then like he just happens to have experience because he plays Overwatch.
Oh my
He
God.
made Hanzo.
They're like, the orcs are like,
Oh,
what's
God.
a Hanzo?
Oh my god! You know what? I'll take that. I'll take
Yes,
that
you're right.
I'll take that he's a Hanzo cosplayer, and he fell in love with archery because that's his favorite character. So he decided to train in that. I like that.
And a girl could want to be a healer or a mage because she wants to.
She's going to med school.
I was going to go with. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to go with. I was going to go.
She goes to med school, and in her free time, she cosplays as a mage because she used to play World of Warcraft.
And she has that deep passion for wanting to save people, so she sees that in mages.
All right. And then when she goes to these cons, she's kind of like a little conspiracy theorist a little bit. Like she thinks that there's like magical creatures in our world, and she goes to like these like panel rooms and stuff like that to. Oh, thank you. She comes to like the little panels and everything, and like her little conspiracy is they're trying to teach her things every so often, and when it's all said and done, like at this con where the battle is going off, like her payoff is, oh my god, it's all real. Like it's all finally happening. Like she figures out at the one con, like they're doing like a potions class, and like everybody's like mixing together like sodas and juices and like little things like that. She somehow manages to like sneak in like some beetroot or whatever, and it turns into a real potion. And like it kind of goes with their mixture and becomes a real thing. Go ahead.
How many like human characters are we gonna have?
How many what? Human characters?
Yeah.
Because if you had like
Less than 5. I feel like anything more than 5.
I feel like it'd be really cool if you had. It's like you have like an archetype of each kind of person. Like you have like the one geek who can shoot a bow. You have the one chick who's a mage. You have like I don't know a guy who's like a jock, but he likes to dress up as like a heavy or whatever. If he goes to con.
He's a tank.
Yeah, he's
That's
basically
great.
like Reinhardt or something.
Or he can if he's one of those idiot jacks, he could literally dress up as an actual tank. Like not actually, he could dress up as a tank.
Dress up like freaking Dempsey.
Yeah. You know.
All right, so
Like, yeah.
so we'll take the 5 archetypes. We'll take the bowman, the mage,
Tank.
the tank.
We're making
we
our
want
own D&D group.
A soldier.
a soldier. So wait. All right. So your tank is gonna
Tank is
be
just like a heavy
your tank is
person.
gonna be somebody who cosplays the heavy from Team Fortress 2.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes
And
lots of sense.
your soldier is
Probably one of the archers' friends.
probably one of the archer. Okay.
I was gonna say someone more like along the lines of like you ever played like zombies or whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say somebody
Like-
from Call of Duty. Like I was gonna say,
Either-
or even
you would like as someone who's like Nikolai Richtofen, Takio, or Tank Dempsey.
I was gonna go along the lines of like Marcus from Gears of War,
Oh, true, yeah.
because it's not gonna be like an A-list like blockbuster. It's gonna be like B movie. You want it to be like homemade like cosplay. You want it to be somebody who's like, oh yeah, I built this out of Eva foam. The gun has like the little attachments and everything.
Yeah, instead of it being like a assault rifle with a chainsaw attachment, it would be a giant chainsaw with like a Gatling gun below it instead.
Yeah, and then
avoid copyright. So avoid copyright by doing that instead.
yeah, and then your last human, I feel like shouldn't be part of that group, but is like a friend of theirs. And is just dressed like a normal human. Like acts is just like, oh yeah, I just like all these stuff that they do, and like I'm here for he's here for support.
He could be a parent.
Okay. All right.
Come on. He could be a parent of 1, 2 main characters, or he could just be that parent who likes all this stuff more than his like millennial kids.
Okay.
The thing I was thinking about is like they have like
A dad that likes Star Trek.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's my dad. So.
they have like all these characters, but they don't really know how to come up with a plan. This is the person who can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all good at their own thing, but they suck with strategy. And this character is just like, oh yeah, I used to dream about doing this all the time because like we didn't have computers that can run software with battles. It was, hey, we have to act this out in our backyard with like Nerf swords.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that. So, characters down, villain down, setting down.
Talk about the villain?
Well, I don't know if we like actually said it, but like how strong is the villain? I don't know.
I mean, this is the same villain who sent them to that dimension.
Say this is the same villain that they fought against previously, but I wanna say that villain over time has amassed a following,
Right.
and like I feel like
He's got an army.
yeah, he's got I don't know 500 people that follow him
Is
like
he,
religiously.
Is he like a dictator? Is he like Kefka kind of crazy?
More like I feel like sociopathic Negan, like a Negan type of guy where he's got all these people controlling him and they believe in him religiously, but like when he meets new people, it's always conflict. It's never, hey, come by, and we'll talk it over. It's I'm gonna kill one of you and then you're gonna not necessarily provide for me,
Would that
but
mean, so wait, would that mean the final battle be like cutting the head off a snake kind of situation, or like they finish off the main baddie and the others stop?
kind of like a mind control, like maybe.
Yeah, like I said,
Well,
cutting off the head of the
It
snake.
seems like his how he gets people to join isn't really mind control. It's just
Like
join or I'll just kill you.
okay, like fear tactic, just straight
Yeah.
up fear tactic.
Like, cause I watch Walking Dead right now, and like I swear to God, like if like 20 of them grouped up and killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scene where they have the hot iron and he throws it on the guy's face and then pulls it off. If anybody at any point while he had it on there just came at him and shot him in the head, they would all. Nobody would.
Everyone fears him.
Yeah, everybody fears him. But if somebody were to come in and do something about it, it would be over. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. You got it.
And like that's what I was talking about last night. Like you can't have that villain all the time because over time that population is going to turn on you.
Yeah.
Like there's more than enough to merit that.
That could be his downfall then. Is because he tries to scare too much and they end up having enough of it.
Okay. So the villain comes for the human characters.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he makes the convert or die ultimatum. And the magical creatures, they say, listen, you don't have to convert. We will protect you. We will fight with you. And that's how the ultimate final battle starts. All right, I'll take that.
Oh man, it's just gonna be one giant battle in like the vendor hall. In the vendor hall.
I was gonna say at the cosplay contest, like
Cosplay
everything
contest?
just pops off there. Like I feel like they should. I feel like the human characters, like they're doing like a cosplay group, and they're trying to like convince their magic friends, hey, come along for this, and they're all there, and then the next portal opens up like off to the side of the stage. Out walks this menacing. Out walks the villain. And walks out on stage like during the contest, and people like think that he's like a cosplayer, but he's not. So it's just like, all right, and that's how it
They
all
don't
goes.
believe he's real until like
He starts to threaten them and they're like, oh, that's really good.
Or like
Yeah.
he sets one of them on fire,
And they think like, oh my god, that's great visual effects.
and then stab another guy in the head. They go, oh my god, look at this. I love that. I honestly love that kind of movie.
Yeah.
To a point.
People are just like that stupid to realize it.
Or
Like-
it's also known South Park syndrome. Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
It's like, it's not a random, it won't be like a random person in the crowd. It'll be one of the cosplay judges. Like, it's somebody, that's where you have Bruce Campbell come in. He's the death. He's a guest celebrity judge coming in for like his days of work.
You
And
can be normal with Bruce Campbell because Bruce Campbell, he has dealt with so much fandom over like two decades worth.
Yeah.
You talk to him now, he was nonchalant and talk about him like it's no shit. Like
Yeah.
like yeah, I guess that happened. It was cool. You know, it's like he cares, but at the same time, he's already heard over 25 years of this stuff.
yeah, like this isn't anything new for him.
Yeah.
And when that happens, like when he sees like out of the corner of his eye this happening, like he's like, oh my God, they got some special effects going on here. This is a nice con.
And
it's like,
I know where the orcs get their weapons. They get it from that one guy who sells.
he's
all the
always
weapons.
selling swords at the dealer's room. Yes.
The guy selling swords at the dealer room, you can see them like making a makeshift like grinder to sharpen the weapons.
Yeah.
So like during the final battle, you see like one random guy from Masters.
There's one guy with a master sword, one guy with like a foam Negan bat.
One he works holding the Cloud's Buster sword.
God, yes. And like you said, a keyblade, like just all the little pieces like of nerd fandom.
When
Like,
they used
they
to
keep
sell
on-
the giant Sephiroth katanas.
Yes.
They keep on bonking the guy over to the energy sword. They're like, it's not doing what's supposed to. Where's the energy?
All right, I'll take that.
Batteries.
So
We're coming up with like a plot for like an American set fantasy movie pretty much. So for our plot is that it takes place all inside a convention center where like actual fantasy beasts come together to meet each other and stuff. But then this time all hell breaks loose and the ultimate evil comes back to try to kill them.
basically, have you seen The Devil is a Part-Timer?
Yes.
Okay, so the initial, it's like almost the same exact opening as that, like almost verbatim, where your magical creatures are fighting against the big bad. They open a dimensional portal, they get sucked into our world, and then it takes over into the human aspect, and we meet our human characters, and this is all 10 years later when you meet the human characters. And the magical creatures, they've built the Comic-Con community. They are the ones that run the cons, are the ones that are always in attendance everywhere, and they come from all over the world. Like for some reason, they came through with like large amounts of money. Like somehow they had gold with them, anything like that. So they're just like, all right, we're gonna set up meeting places. That way, like once a month, we can meet up, exchange stories, and like just bitch about the new world that we're in. And then like the human aspect comes in and like hijacks the Comic Cons.
Actually, I was gonna say, oh my God, this shows like how familiar I am with old stuff. There's an old Dungeons and Dragons module. It's known as Castle Greyhawk.
Okay.
All right. The idea is that there's this wizard who's like from the old D&D books and the Dragonlance novels and everything.
Okay.
His name is Morden Kynan. It's like if you look him up in the D&D stuff, he's one of the big deal, like high wizards of the world of Greyhawk.
Okay.
And he has this big castle. And the thing is, he actually has learned interdimensional travel. He actually can open up portals and go to other realms. So one of the things that he did when he pretty much kind of got bored with hanging out in Greyhawk, which, the world of Dungeons and Dragons, you get bored with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he did. So what he did, he came to our world, and he now makes a pretty successful living as a movie producer. He does he does sci-fi movies, TV, fantasy movies, and everything. And the way he does it, he just literally opens the portal, brings all the stuff over to his castle to Castle Greyhawk, and he just films it there. So like whenever they see whenever they go, wow, these are really good special effects. Those skeletons really look like they're moving on their own. It's because they are.
Okay.
You know, like that's how you can explain stuff like Jason and the Argonauts, or any of those especially really good episodes of Star Trek where you're like, wow, that's a really good animatronic. That's not an animatronic.
That's real. Okay.
You know, so in the encounter list, there's a whole there's just like this long list of people you can run into, basically who are set to show up in the movies. Like you can run into Beholders, you can run into the original series Star Trek cast. Like you can basically end up running into William Shatner and you'll fight Shatner, and they've all got working phasers.
Well, what we were talking about was with like celebrity guests and stuff is like
Viggo Mortensen, Elijah Wood, like the guy who plays Neville Longbottom, Harry Potter, but the orcs think he's actually legit, like from the movie.
Like,
so they think he's the one that can save
and like
them all.
they've been trying for
saying
years to get him to come to the con.
You know, so that's what I mean. Like that's kind of the joke is that like, you know, you can take your little adventuring group and just go to Castle Greyhawk and you can run into like the cast of Star Trek or fucking Zeus for a freaking Greek epic. Like,
Yeah.
No, they just freaking called Zeus from Mount Olympus and there he is. It's like you know, so if you've been unfortunate enough to like come across him during your regular campaign and you've made him mad at you, this is the point where you can go, oh, you motherfuckers. Oh, I've been waiting for a chance to find you guys. I'm gonna have some fun.
I got a really bad title for this.
Go ahead. What's the title? What do you got?
Conquest.
Conquest.
I told you it's bad.
It's bad, but it's perfect.
Con-quest.
Yeah.
Conquest.
Con-quest. I like it. I feel like
It's perfect.
it's perfect because you can tell that it's a B movie just by that title, but you also just like, you know what? I'll give it a shot because it's just there. It's just there.
Well, and that's the other thing. It's not an ambiguous title. It's
Oh no, it's exactly what you expect.
You know, TV tropes would say this movie is exactly what it says on the tin.
Yep.
It's a convention and they go on a quest.
Yep.
And include all the voice actors and guests that they could find.
Oh yeah, like
obviously,
the entire
that's what I'm saying, like Bruce Campbell. Like,
yeah, the entire production budget would probably end up being more like just paying actors and voice actors and stuff to show up as opposed to special effects. Like the special effects you're going to get would be like from the final battle, and that'll just be to like make stuff in the background look
Yeah, I
good.
told him to save budget, pretty much. Have the main bad guy trap over himself inside this rinky-dink convention center with like the only guy going around kind of like that one guy from Die Hard at first, you know? Except this time it's just like random convention security guy going, freaking kids. You know,
you mean everyone doing like John McClane?
yeah, kind of like John McClane, where it's just one random guy, pretty much.
Not John McClane, Glover.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Where his character, it'd be like his character is just like, I'm too old for this shit. It's just.
You know what would be funny? Since we were talking about voice actors, try to have Travis Willingham do his Thor bit and he fights the hammer. Like a prop hammer, and it's like.
Well,
and
lightning sparks behind him, but it's not really lightning. It's just like a random loose wire.
Then you have like the actual Thor show up and go, give me.
we were talking about this. The final battle would like emerge like at the cosplay contest.
Yeah.
So it's just like you have your main squad of like your 4 humans or 5 humans like doing their little group thing and like trying to bring the magical creatures along, and then like off like to the side stage the main villain pops in through a portal and like kills Bruce Campbell because he's the guest judge, and then everybody is like, oh my god, they killed Bruce Campbell, and like they laugh because they think it's like a special effect and like it was like a hologram or whatever. But then like the human characters are just like, no, that actually happened, we need to get out of here, you guys need to go. And like that would lead into like the final battle is like happening there. So like the overall like story would be like your setup, time skip, and then your main plot. And they could all happen. You can do it in 110 minutes. Like, it's not going to be a really big production.
Oh
No, it can definitely be done in a good amount of time for.
no. Like you have the generic, the battle ends, and it's like the crack of dawn coming up at the end.
Not even that. Like, do it over the course of daytime. Like, just like the cosplay contest is like.
It's like turning to night.
Yeah, like cosplay contest is like 8 o'clock at night. Like,
You go to a rave party after.
oh yeah, afterwards, the post-credit scene is them going to the rave with like the beheaded, baddie as like their trophy. So,
And like some poor janitor just like trying to
just
sweep
mopping
Bruce
up all the blood.
No, he's like pushing his broom against Bruce Campbell's dead body. Man, people leaving their shit
Just
here all the time.
blasting some random music in his headphones, going.
No, or having me some old grizzled janitor just being like, this fucking kids.
No, that's where Viggo Mortensen shows up. Not
Viggo
as a
Mortensen's the janitor.
No, in a cameo. This would be the cameo right at the end, where you just see you at first don't see him, and then he turns around for a brief second. It's Viggo Mortensen. You go, what the fuck? It's just Viggo Mortensen as the
These
janitor.
fucking kids.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just goes, those fucking kids.
I'll take that. Viggo Mortensen as the janitor. All right. So,
Occasionally you just see him in the background. You don't see him. He's just like sweeping up.
Yeah,
Whatever.
he's changing trash cans and shit. Putting.
Every time there's a mess, he's just like sweeping it up or changing something.
You
out.
don't
Yeah.
see his
Maybe
face
like
like
it
that.
turns on him like once in a while, like during the film, you just see the background, you don't know who it is, and like end credit scene, you finally know who it is.
It's Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hide his identity the entire time, and then the payoff is end credit scene. You find out who it was.
Yeah.
All right.
And then like right after, it's like these fucking kids, and Viggo Mortensen as the channel.
I'll accept that. I like that idea. Like with a lot of like the stories and stuff that I write, because basically what I do when I'm not podcasting or at work is I write not fan fiction, but like there have been times like in my life where it's just like, oh my god, this is like a TV moment. Like I need to write this down. So it's like there's little chronicles of just like, hey, so this happened. Let me throw a couple things here and like embellish on it. So like I have probably enough for like 3 or 4 seasons worth of TV just off of the little stupid shit that I've done. And like over time, I plan to eventually just amass it all there. But like stuff like this is like where I want to like come up with the idea and really flush it out with people and just be like, so like what would this person do, or what would be the best way to approach this? Because everybody has a different way of how their mind works, and like the entire concept of what would you want to see in a movie, what would you want to see in this, and it's just like it took you all of 13 minutes to come up with exactly what Kevin Smith was trying to do with the Mallrats sequel, which was like Die Hard but at a Comic-Con. Like that's exactly what he was saying to like network executives. Like when he was going to pitch it, he was like, Die Hard at a Comic-Con. And they're like, maybe. And like it took all of 13 minutes to get there, but it got there. And like that natural progression to there and then beyond it is what really makes like for good storytelling, because it's just like we took the idea, we ran with it, and then we pushed it into our own little thing, as opposed to just stopping there and going down the same path as that somebody else had the same idea. You made it your own. You were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, as far as if you were trying to do distribution or get any kind of backing for it, you could always try and pitch it as a Netflix original or something.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely make that list. I feel like it would have the ability to do that.
Or do what they did with the Star Trek Continues, start up a Patreon and just do it as you.
Yeah, GoFundMe and have them have it crowdsourced.
I mean, like if you wanted to try and get it to a wider kind of a TV-like network or something, where like they kind of be all like, hey, check it. It's like, hey, check it out, new Netflix original or something, or hey, new thing on Amazon Video, new thing on Hulu,
Oh
You
yeah.
always want to keep your creativity. You don't want them to like to control what you're doing.
Yeah, you would want it already made so that way they would just be distribution. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, a lot of times, for some of this crazy stuff, they will fund it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, heck, just look at like Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, and they eventually got like Winona Ryder in on it too, and like that was a huge thing.
Like they take some crazy ideas and they fund. I mean, heck, there's like several different animes on there that they pretty much just funded themselves.
Oh yeah, they started their own anime. Like one of the biggest.
Oh my God, that would be great to explore in the movie is the anime section of the convention. The scenery.
It just they think that like. They think that cat girls like actually exist in our world, but they don't.
Like they're trying to escape the bad guys. They go, "Let's go into this room." They go into this room.
It's a hentai panel.
Hentai panel just runs with random anime people dancing, and they just slowly back out.
It's like back away.
Like they think cat girls are like this special race of like people that like have just like almost gone extinct over time, and this is the only place to find them, so like they keep doing it just to like try to protect them. It's like no, it's not real, and the human characters are trying to explain it to them, and they're like, no, but they're real, we have them where we're from. And it's like it's a whole thing just between them. I feel like that would be another good thing just to add to that. So we basically talked about that for like 45 minutes. How's that? So, I wanted to do a little bit of geek news because we had, like, after I got home last night, I was reading like everything from like comicbook.com and shit, and we had talked about certain movies that are coming out, and just off the top of my head, I want to rattle them off. New Pokemon movie, animated Pokemon movies coming. A Naruto movie, live action with one of the original writers, right?
No, it's being produced by Lionsgate. It's an American produced film, and they have a visual effects visual effects specialist
who's he's right. He's working on the movie with them.
He's the director for the movie.
Okay.
The Pokemon movie, the rumor is since it's the 20th, it's a rebootish of Ash's Beginning. It's a reboot of that.
So are they rebooting the first movie, or are they gonna reboot the original series?
There's only been teases about what it is. Like it shows like Ash putting on like an updated version of his classic hat and stuff.
Okay.
So we don't know exactly what it is. It's supposed to be the 20th.
If they were to do like a Pokemon like Pokemon Shippuden, where it's just like, oh yeah, this is Ash like 10 years later. Like this is instead of him being a fucking kid, like just finally just be like, oh yeah, he's a parent now, and this is, or not a parent, but like this is him as like a late teenager, early 20s.
And the kid from Alola just happens to be his son, just happens to look like him.
Yeah.
Or he's just a relative coming to visit. It's like, hey, Uncle Ash, what's going on?
Yeah, just have that happen. I mean, like, and we're at the point now where we're 800 Pokemon deep. You can have that main character own a Celebi and like time travel back to like Ash's like adventures. Like he would tell him, oh yeah, I remember this one time I met Giratina, and the kid would be like, okay, Celebi, we're gonna go to that moment, and we're gonna watch that whole thing.
I can tell you about this one
because
time.
Uncle Ash is a bullshitter.
I can tell you about this one time I met Jinx. No.
I remember this one time I went to a bar and this Jinx was no more.
It's like, not for the young years.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I know about it. I think it's some kind of reboot of his Pete thing. So I'm hoping if it is,
Of course, the then thing is that if he does have a girlfriend or a wife,
which character was it?
Who did he end up with?
Yeah. Honestly, I'll be honest.
I'm still Team Misty after all these years.
I'll be honest. I want it to be Serena from X and Y, simply because like she's the only one that over time has had like that backstory created.
Yeah.
Like it's not just, oh, we met on your adventure and we decided to, go off an adventure together. It was, yeah, we used to like hang out as kids, and now like we're coming back together for this adventure and like meeting and like connecting over time. and building that bond there instead of it being like out of the blue.
Well, I mean, granted, with that said, it does have the classic kind of anime childhood friend setup. It's like
Exactly,
hey, we
yeah.
haven't seen each other in years. Holy shit, you got hot.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's definitely something that would need to be addressed. Or they can just have him be a bachelor the entire time, which would make it would turn him into Brock a little bit. But instead of like every Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy, it would just be like really random like trainers, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I met her once," and it'd be like, "Where did you meet her?" And he's like, different region." He would just try to avoid it.
So if you tried to like go on any of the other trainers, would you get like shocked like Pikachu?
Maybe not shocked, but like, oh my god, are we really doing this again right now?
You had like
Pikachu just sits there like,
Come on,
you
man.
had like Kurogaki always just freaking poisons him whenever he tries to do something.
Or
Pikachu nudges him with his tail, and it's just like, come on. It's like, but dude.
At least it wouldn't be zapping every single bike that passes by.
Oh, yeah.
Or good God, I just thought about this one. Just
Okay.
as Muck just suddenly shows up. Just
Too
'cause
many,
It's like, it's all
too
like-
many daddy's cummies jokes with that one. Like we're gonna avoid that.
I can imagine every single girl would be like, a mug, yuck.
Then they announced Boruto for next April.
Yeah, they're releasing Boruto. They're gonna make that real. Attack on Titan season 2 is also coming in April.
Blue Exorcist
I am
Season 2.
fucking happy.
Dragon Ball Super coming.
Dragon Ball Super is coming next month to Toonami.
I believe something with Black Butler is also coming.
Not Black Butler, Blue Exorcist.
They did
They're
confirm-
restarting.
No, there's something with, I swear there was something with Black Butler. I'm not sure about it.
They did confirm.
I think they've got another OVA.
They did confirm One Punch Man season 2.
One Punch Man season 2 is
I can't
coming.
wait. I finished watching the English dub and I loved it.
Black Lagoon is gonna pick up. The manga's gonna pick up again. So if the manga's picking up, the anime is definitely gonna pick up again.
Yeah, they just need to let it get ahead again.
Yeah, like I said, Blue Exorcist also happening. Nah, I haven't dived into that one.
It's great.
I'm waiting for volume 4 and 5 on Netflix.
Yeah, that's
It-
just random, insanity.
Yeah.
I was happy and then a little sad when I found out that they did do some more Seven Deadly Sins this year, and then I found
Okay.
out it was a 4-episode miniseries, and I was like, because all it is just them doing the quick little setup between, like the actual way the manga ended at the point that they were at when they stopped the anime, and giving the setup for what's supposed to be the next arc. But that's the thing, it's just the setup. They still haven't even said they're doing another season.
Exactly.
Okay, I got a question. Should they bring back for Toonami? Should they bring back a new English dub version of One Piece? Or,
I thought they were still continuing with One Piece. I thought, yeah, they're still continuing with One Piece.
still are? Oh,
Yeah, they're at Thriller Bark right now, I think. Yeah, they're fighting Moria, I
now is
think,
it,
the first time.
who was it? Funimation?
Yes,
Funimation, yeah.
Is it Funimation dub or 4Kids dub?
4Kids dub was the crap one.
With
Funimation.
the amazing title entrance theme.
It's horrible. It was
Yeah!
horrible.
Gotta go!
Oh, jeez. Dream it.
Also, it's beating a dead horse, but a new Yu-Gi-Oh anime series coming too. Just
I stopped.
they showed the picture of the protagonist. It looks like his hair is like baby blue and hot pink, and it looks like a porcupine on his
I
head.
stopped at GX. Like the English of GX.
Yeah.
Because it sucks they didn't give us the final season of GX here in America. Yeah, it's blows.
Especially since
I've heard-
it's on a cliffhanger.
I've heard that there's might be something coming regarding that. I don't know where, but I remember reading an article that they're trying to wrap up GX somehow without it getting like too dark. Because the problem was like the whole Dark Emperor saga was like too dark for them to like show certain things, and it really wasn't. Like they censored way too much.
They forgot GX was the lighthearted show compared to Series 1.
I mean,
Series 1 was way
5Ds was a little lighthearted too, but again, they fell down the rabbit hole of, you know, this is your main character and he's had suffering, he grew up in the slums, and then when he finally gets, you know, to the big city, like they just start like killing people, like for real killing people. And it's like, no, that's not what the series should be about.
No, guys, that's too far in the other direction.
Yeah, it needs to just be card games on motorcycles, not...
It's like middle ground, guys. You can find some middle ground here.
Just call it the Shadow Realm. Don't try to actually kill anybody. Just, you know...
It's like, good God, you guys found the balance with the freaking first series. How did you freaking screw that up?
What do you think about the Dark Side Dimensions? Because the English show, I think, comes out next month. Wasn't it?
Yeah, January, I believe, is release date.
And they've only confirmed the voices, the English dub voices of Kaiba.
They'll definitely have Jaden. They should. I feel like...
But I don't know when it takes place. I think they said it does take place after the end of the original series.
I'm pretty sure it's not a continuation, but like a sequel to the previous movie.
Is that the three-way crossover they had?
Yeah, the Across Dimensions. It was Yugi, Jaden, and Yusei. Like, I feel like this is not a direct sequel, but like a companion to that. I feel like that's how they're doing it. So, I don't know.
Oh, one thing I forgot to say, SAO's ordinal scale is coming out as well.
Ordinal scale, yeah, that's going to be a big one. I'm not sure how well it's going to go.
It's like changing the game or whatever, because it's not the normal VR headset.
Yeah, like they're really pulling away from the source material on it. I don't know how it's going to go over.
It's like they have like those little like earpieces or whatever, but
Yeah.
I guess like in disguise, they're still like the normal things, and they pull them into the game again.
Okay. Like I like the core concept of SAO. Like I like that they do like mini arcs in seasons. And they need to, if they just did like mini arcs and just like, hey, once a year we're going to put out 10 episodes of, you know, they're going to try out a new game, or they're going to do like a holiday DLC in Aincrad or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if they just did that instead of waiting 2.5 years and then saying, oh yeah, here's, you know, 20 episodes, you gotta sit for another 2.5 years to get, you know, even more. Just once a year, churn out 10 episodes, maybe do an OVA if you can fit it into the schedule, but that time is just way too precious. Like you can't be doing that.
I'm hoping next year we get the English dub of the Digimon Adventure Tri Part 2.
We're gonna be getting Digimon Tri. We'll be getting more of
You know
it.
what sucks? Like, did you go to the Fathom event for Tri English dub?
I didn't. I had to work that
They
day.
freaking spoil Part 2 and then show a sneak peek of Part 3.
How? How?
I don't know. No, what happens is they spoil what happens in Part 2, and then they show a clip to Part 3 at the end. Like, that's the Fathom event.
My main problems that I have with, one of my main problems that I have with anime, like in general, is that they don't like doing those crossovers unless it benefits them in some way. Whereas if they just did it for the fans, they would be building their fan base more.
Naruto,
When
One Piece, and Dragon Ball, please.
they did One
do
Piece,
that one
they
more.
did One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Toriko, which was good. They did it good, and it established that they were all in the same like universe. But other than that, like if they were to do that again, I feel like it would be Dragon Ball, One Piece, and then Boruto. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want that. I don't want Goku Black with my martial teach. I don't want Boruto and Goten. I don't want that. I don't want that in my life.
I was gonna say, like, if you're wanting to see good, don't treat them like shit crossovers in Japanese television, you gotta go with the Tokusatsu and the Super Sentai stuff.
Yeah.
Because Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, they cross over. Like, it's a tradition now. They do that for the movie. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
I mean,
there
2
was
years
that-
ago they did like this big crossover between like the Shurikengers, which are the next Power Rangers series that's coming out over here.
Yeah.
And they brought back like all the Kamen Riders.
Nice.
I'm not kidding.
Then they had what's Dino Charge here? They had a 3-way crossover with the other 2 dinosaur Power Rangers.
Really?
Sets. Yeah. So you had the guys from Mighty Morphin, the guys from what was it?
Dino Thunder.
and Dino Charge, pretty much. And they even had the classic Megas, some of the classic Megazords. Too.
Nice.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't get that because, like, for here in America, most of the Mighty Morphin guys are either retired, or like, at best if you get JDF and that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
let me put this out there. With the new Power Rangers movie coming out, if it actually does well and they do like establish the world mildly okay, would we see the more of those crossover type things? Because that's what we see in other forms of like geek culture movies. Like, that's the whole premise of the Marvel universe is, oh, this person can show up here. That would easily translate over to Power Rangers because they've established that they can do it.
The only thing I predict at best for the Power Rangers movie is the ending where Tommy gets introduced. Their version of Tommy gets introduced.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all I can do.
The entire point of Rita Repulsa having green armor, in the movie, is because she has a corrupted green disc.
Did you see the original concept art for that movie's version of Rita? They were going to do the original TV series version, except she was going to be much older, like old, like Brady Smith kind of old.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked for what they're trying to do.
Design-wise, it came out nice, but
yeah.
Well, not to mention, the entire point of it is that she's supposed to be a witch.
Yeah.
And that's the entire reason why she sends the monsters and make my monster grow and all the magic and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the entire point, was that she doesn't fight herself.
I gotta see how they explain that part in the movie.
I think what they're gonna come across is, she's gonna be like a Dr. Giro type of character where her and a monster are going to show up together.
Yeah, they are.
And then when the monster gets defeated, they're going to try to fight her. And like she does a little quick battle scene. But then she casts a spell, and then the monster grows. They call him the Zords.
They confirmed that Golar is going to be in it, so.
All right, I'll take that. He might be the monster then. They might just go, screw everything else. These are your 2, and that's what we got to do.
With the Angel, they had put Angel Grove in like Maine, essentially. It's like
they could have put it anywhere and it would have worked. Like they never specifically said, "Oh yeah, Angel Grove, California." They didn't really ever.
It was like so heavily hinted at.
Oh yeah, it was, because
with the environments in it, with the kind of with like the
or
city architecture.
someplace sunnier. Look, someplace sunnier. This place looks like cloudy every day.
Well, I think this is a good point of this. When you're doing that type of movie, you want your setting to reflect the story you're telling. So if you're going to tell a darker, grittier Power Ranger story, you want your setting to be, drab, dreary, rainy days. You want it to be that. And the irony of it being called Angel Grove, where you would expect it to be sunny all the time, where you would expect it to be, like a lush green utopia, when you have, eventually you're going to have, giant monsters walking all over the fucking Terra and just a whole bunch of crazy shit going on.
So
it's not gonna be a lush green environment for long.
So pretty much it was like a darker version, so it would be RPM, and then the lighter version would be what you see in like Morton.
Because see, it's tough because you're right. They're taking a lot from like future seasons, and the main problem with it is the kids from Angel Grove, like the actual like point of them being who they were was like they were like in a surfer town. They were, you know, just these teenager kids that,
And they were goody goods.
yeah, they were goody goods. You know, them being like the Breakfast Club in this movie, I don't like that. I feel like
Oh my god.
you can't do Breakfast Club and not call it Breakfast Club. Like, you can't just take those character aspects, turn it into your own movie, and then just try to push it off as your own movie. Like, you can't do that because it's easily identifiable. Like, I'm glad that they want to try a new aspect of it, but that's not the way to do it.
You know, it's like I finally got over the design of the suits. I'm like, fine.
The suit designs weren't bad. If you're gonna do something practical, you're not gonna do a morph suit type of thing. You're gonna want to put yourself in a metal suit. You're gonna want to have as much protection as possible, and have the ability to almost do an Iron Man suit, but better, in a sense. So
Then there's the Zords, which I guess are fine.
the Zords were always going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And that's because they have to be CGI. Of course you're going to have, you know, them standing next to, you know, a piece of sheet metal with the right color painting done on it and say, "Oh yeah, this is a practical effect."
Yeah.
But then when they go to build a Megazord, that's 100% CGI. There's
God.
no doubt. There's no way around that.
They leaked the Megador design through like a toy they were releasing for it.
Yeah.
It's just, god damn it. It's like my Morphin Power Rangers the movie fan bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, honestly, if they wanted to try and push these new directions, they should have tried to make sure this movie was good. You know, this movie was a success first. You know, make something that just kind of proves the viability of the property first.
Well,
And then go
it's
like-
had 20 years of viability. It's
Well,
just this is the first time now that they're gonna go, all right, this is what we're doing. We're gonna try to, you know, update the source material a little bit into our own story, but it's gonna have the same things that you grew up loving, but just in a different way, which is good. But it's also they're losing out on the stuff that really made it solid for certain people.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that it's okay for them to go ahead and try and do new things. I'm saying they shouldn't go for so many of the extreme changes they are, like with the tongue. You know, it's like, you want to do, you know, like try and do deeper character aspects. Okay,
Yeah.
fine, do that. The show occasionally lacked that stuff, or didn't always go places with all that
And it
stuff.
didn't. And when they did try to do it, it didn't always come out right. It felt lackluster.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like sometimes it went really well. The Tommy Kimberly romance, that was amazing. You know, that was amazing. You know, Billy's history as a ranger all the way up through Zio. You know, oh, that went well.
Yeah.
You know, that's all good stuff. You know, you want to do stuff like that or try and give everyone stuff like that. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
But you know, and then if you want to try the experimental, like, you know, a much darker tone or anything like that, save that for the sequel when you've established that like your reboot property has proven that, you know, you can do this new stuff and do it well.
I have a main prediction that what they're gonna do is they're gonna take a play out of the Marvel book, and essentially they're gonna do their main movie first, and then their end credit scene is going to be exactly what everybody's hoping for, and that is the introduction of the Green Ranger.
It would pretty much
Which-
Tommy,
It would be Tommy, but what they would do is they defeat Rita. She like drops her corrupted green disc.
and she turns into like
She-
kind of like
She
not really,
she has like a witch outfit, but it's it's like
She looks
modernized.
like a little bit older than she really looks.
Yeah, like they modernize her and they give her like they like take the makeup off of her a little bit. So she drops the disc, loses her powers. They take her in, like, and it's just outside of like the city limits, like where the end fight is. On a motorcycle, comes up, helmet on, everything. Stops, picks up the disc. You see it come up to the helmet, like in the reflection of the visor, and you see the person in the motorcycle helmet and their entire body start to go green. And I feel like that, I would want to see that. You know, you're not putting them in a suit, and you're not making them do anything, and you're not revealing who they are.
Yeah,
like you can have anybody do that.
The sequel will pretty much be the Green Ranger arc from the series.
Yeah. The sequel has to be the Green Ranger versus the Power Rangers. It has to be.
And then probably even do it with like the original.
What's that? Oh, yeah. Here, I'll just move it a little bit closer. Is that better? A lot better. Cool. But with that whole story, it's different. It's difficult. For one, because it's a large story to do and to condense it down.
Well, and I was going to say, the thing is, if they kept it a little more lighthearted for the first one and decided to go darker for the second one, they could go with the original fate of the Green Ranger from Jew Ranger and actually have him die.
They can still do that.
Well, no, I mean like.
And it'd be going way darker than the first movie, but they could still do it.
Well,
What series are you talking about again?
Power Rangers,
Talking about the reboot movie.
the movie that they're coming out with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a trailer out for it and everything. Yeah.
It's not that bad. I mean, if you give it, if you're willing to buy into it a little bit, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And like I always buy into things just a little bit, just enough to where it's like, all right, I'll take this illusion for as long as you show me the trailer, and then I'll decide whether or not I want it.
Yeah.
But it has me excited because this is the first time in a long time that they're doing something like this. And it also opens up the opportunity for other properties like that to actually go out and do something like this. Ghost in the Shell coming out soon. If that works, if Assassin's Creed works, if whatever live action Pokemon and Naruto movie.
These live action movies almost never work.
They almost never work, but all we need is one to work.
90% of people are going to be a net focused audience. They're going to be people that have no idea how Ghost in the Shell, how like Bebop, whatever, franchises.
Yeah.
They're not going to know what the hell is going on.
And that's one of the problems is there's not a story. There's a couple stories out there, but there isn't one that they've been trying to adapt that just anybody can go in and check out of reality for a second and try to invest into it. The closest one that we're probably going to get would be the live action Pokemon one. And that's simply because people know that property well enough to give it a shot. Ghost in the Shell, I guarantee within the community itself is going to be phenomenal because people are they're going to cling to it and say, this is exactly what I wanted to see. It doesn't matter who they cast in it. It doesn't matter,
Here's the problem with that situation. There's people I know that are big fans of Ghost in the Shell. When they hear the idea of Scarlett Johansson, they just fucking drop the ball, walk out the room, and go say, fuck this, I'm going to go to something else. Every friend of mine, they get awards, Scarlett Johansson, they just shut their mind down, and they just leave. Scarlett Johansson is kind of like a cancer of movies nowadays. According to most people I know. Even people who don't pay attention to anime or anything of that nature. People that have like zero background and some comic books and whatsoever. Scarlett Johansson is just kind of like this cancer.
I wouldn't say that she's a cancer on it, but like if you watch Lucy and she is
She turns into a USB drive and everyone hates her.
Exactly, but she carries a movie all by herself. She's not a supporting character that just needs to play something else.
Not to try to be a dick, is Lucy was a movie my friends and I like to watch movies together.
Yeah.
We tried to watch Lucy.
Uh-huh.
Halfway through and we couldn't stand it. She's not good enough as a
She was very monotone in the same way that Kristen Stewart was monotone in Twilight. Like, she didn't carry emotional depth with her, but I think that character called for it. Like, there was enough shock going on that a normal person would start to disassociate themselves to a certain extent.
Twilight was a movie where, hello, I am the 13-year-old girl who is going through puberty, discovering myself. Oh, this is a shitty franchise. I've been trying to self-insert myself.
Yeah.
You got Hunger Games, where it's, hello, I am the stupid fucking bitch with the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It tries to actually be useful, but you try to watch it, it's nothing more than a mess, where the more you read into it, it's nothing more of a racist character.
The problem with Hunger Games was that it would have just been okay as a movie all by itself. It didn't need to be a continuation. Had they just let her win and added an extra 30 minutes of what I want for winning instead of my life, you can kill me, you can kill people, but we need to have our freedom. If you would have just went with that Deus Ex instead of, oh yeah, she's gonna come back for the anniversary Hunger Games, why the fuck would you have people that are 10, 20, 30 years older now coming back for an event that clearly somebody who's in their early 20s would be the ultimate winner almost every time?
Here's the thing that you gotta keep in mind, is there's a thing called the nostalgia factor that I consider trash, but is a very, very, very prominent thing. You have a video game like Doom, came out in 93 in December, a badass FPS.
Yeah.
People cling to it like it's the best damn thing since fucking water.
Yeah.
You can't deviate too far from what his source is. And the only time I actually were okay with the idea of there being a new Doom game was the brand new Doom in 2016, which is literally another Twitch shooter and a first-person perspective in 2016. You can't just switch between this what people are used to when they're growing up. Just alien idea.
The other problem with the new Doom was the fact that it was so fast-paced that if you weren't used to that type of game beforehand, like if you weren't invested in something like that and you didn't have, the reflexes and the ability to process all the information going on.
Well, here's the thing. The easier difficulties will more cater to the idea of less, fast-paced movement. If you played something like Ultraviolence and Up, that was perfectly catered. It even mentioned this is perfectly catered to people to the idea of old school Doom.
Yeah.
Ultraviolence was the ideal idea of Ultraviolence was the same people that played the original Doom on Ultraviolence hurt me plenty. You can't just, you can't alienate the idea of how the idea originally came up. It's like trying to say, okay, here's Star Wars and here's Star Trek. You can't just you can't go from Star Wars to Star Trek. You gotta blend it in. You can't just mix things suddenly.
I think the problem was that the new Doom was a cash grab. It was all it was in its entirety was a cash grab because all they did was rely on the nostalgia factor of it. If you were to do, and that's the other problem with Duke Nukem Forever was they just put out a shitty game and people flung to it. Like they just went, oh my god, Duke Nukem, I need it. Oh yeah, they shat on it because it was bad. The developers didn't put that much into it. They just said, all right, it's been long enough. Let's put something out just that way they'll shut up about it.
Here's the thing about Doom that makes it interesting. The original idea for Doom was completely different from what we got as an endpoint. When you find a guy that's a full-blown interest, like, hold on, what the fuck is wrong with you? You have to make it a proper Doom game. We got the Doom we got.
Yeah.
That was one of the few times where, hey, here's a fucking game. Hold on, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to alienate your entire audience that was based around the idea of what is Doom. And it literally just expanded on top of itself. Yeah, it's a risk situation, but when you remake a game, you reinvent a series, you have to make the people that originally saw and grew up with the series. You can't just say, hey, here's something fucking different. You have to ease them in. Doom 3 was like, welcome to generic FPS with shitty everything.
Yeah, if I wanted a generic FPS, I would go play like Call of Duty or Battlefield or something. Like, you don't need to make it generic just so that way more people will get into it. It'll find its place. Like, that's how other FPSs get the following they have. Halo has a following because it's so different from other shooters. Splatoon, despite it being what it is, has a following because it found its niche. It found the people that it was supposed to be made for.
Well, what made Halo unique was Bungie, the company that made the original Halos.
Yeah.
They made the games called Marathon. When you saw the first game, Mac on the second game, and then Windows again. No, sorry, it was Mac, Windows, Mac. But the whole idea of Marathon, it was a sequel to the Halo series. Of course, Halo was originally going to be an RTS on the PC, but they found themselves, hey, let's move forward playing as a single person. And it progressively progressed into a FPS that would work on the PC.
Yeah.
And the whole reason it actually stuck because it was more or less a PC game that was designed around working on a console. Because the precision you need on a console versus a PC is entirely different. You need an entire auto aim assist to the torque. You know, aiming a mouse on a PC is like aiming a gun almost. But aiming, controller, it's really different. It's completely different. And what they did different and unique about Halo was they found a way to make on a controller not completely ass to use on a controller.
Yeah.
You actively just like hitting your fucking life trying to aim, you found a way to make it so where you have a slight torque and lock-on system that wasn't blatantly obvious.
All right, so it's 11:59, 10 seconds. So when it gets to 11:59:50, we're gonna do a 10-second countdown, and then we're just gonna yell "Happy New Year," just so that way it's almost believable.
Yes.
But I think after that, I'm gonna wrap it up, just so that way whoever comes in next has enough time to get their stuff together, because it's already midnight, and I have to drive home. So, all right. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! All right, everybody. We're going to ring in 2017 on a good note with lots of great games, lots of great movies. Whole bunch of more content coming to Cappuccino Cunnilingus on YouTube. We're going to start doing gaming content. We're going to start doing hopefully some live action content as well. There will definitely be updates on that on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Cappuccino Cunnilingus. Find us on YouTube, find us on iTunes, find us on Google Play, find us on Stitcher, Cappuccino Cunnilingus. You can find us on all of these places. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful new year.